In 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1, it reads, "Therefore, since Christ has suffered in the flesh, arm yourselves also with the same purpose, because he who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin." As we come to the end of the year 2025 and look ahead to a new year, this is a meaningful moment for us as a family to pause, reflect, and realign our lives with God's purpose. The Apostle Peter reminds us that because Christ suffered for us, we are called to live differently, no longer for sin, but to please God. To help us do this, let us remember three directions for our faith. First, look back at what Christ has done. When we look back at his suffering and his victory, it shapes our mindset to die to sin and to live for God. Remembering his sacrifice reminds us that our former sinful ways no longer define us, even when others misunderstand or oppose our obedience to God. Gratitude for Christ's work moves us to please God, knowing that we now live in light of his judgment and the new life we have in him. Second, look forward to what lies ahead as we live for him. Remembering that the end is near reminds us that our time is limited, and limited time calls for intentional living. This future focus calls us to be clear-minded, self-controlled, and rooted in prayer, living each day in dependence on God. Anticipating what is to come stirs within us a desire to please God by living faithfully and purposefully in the present. Lastly, look now at how we can actively please God in our daily lives. God calls us to live with sincere love, gracious forgiveness, and humble service toward others. Using our gifts faithfully reminds us that we are stewards of God's grace, serving not in our own strength, but through the power he provides. Living this way keeps our focus on God's glory, so that in everything Christ is honored through our words and actions. As we reflect together, consider these questions. How does remembering Christ's suffering and sacrifice change the way we view sin and obedience in our lives today? In what ways does knowing that our time is limited motivate us to live more intentionally for God as a family? And what specific acts of love, service, or use of our gifts can we practice this week to actively please God? If this message encouraged your faith, please click the like button and consider subscribing to receive more messages from us. You can also share this message with someone who needs encouragement today. May God bless you and have a wonderful day.